There it is. Okay, now we're ready to go. Tonight, we're going to go to Chapter 6 of the book we've been studying, Rock Your Network Marketing Business. Chapter 6. I know you all probably haven't necessarily read this book or seen this book, but it's by Sarah Robbins. And by the way, all the first 5 chapters I made a PowerPoint for, and we recorded, and they're in the Plexus group. I changed the name of it to Passionate Plexus Leaders, I think. I can't remember exactly. But I tried to add all of you all. So if you're not in that group, which formerly was Linda's first level 1, if you're not in that group, let me know and I'll be sure to add you. But anyway, all my previous PowerPoints and the recordings of these calls are in that group. Tonight's chapter is Power Presenting, Finding Your Rock Star. This was a slide I made earlier, but I thought it was worth repeating. What we do for a living is we talk to people. That's what we do for our living. So it has to become part of our lifestyle. I know some people are more outgoing than other people, but our new position now is we talk to people. The more you talk to people, the faster you're going to grow and the farther you're going to go in your business. So what do you say next? Sarah says the power of stories is powerful. Facts tell, but stories sell. Because people get connected emotionally to our stories and our experiences. And I know that Becky Farmer, who's on our call tonight, this has been very, very true for her. She joined in January and she's lost over 60 pounds. And she posts every month, I think on July, on the 3rd of the month, her newest weight loss story. And she told me that every time she does that, you know, she gets lots of questions and comments. That's her own personal story. So what do you say? How do you develop your business story? This is what your business story needs to contain. Who you are. Share your background, a little bit about yourself and what you do. Why you were looking for an opportunity, or maybe you really weren't even looking. It just came to you. How did you find your business? Oh, I misspelled that word. Why did you join? What results have you seen or hope to see, and what has excited you the most about Plexus and for us, it's Plexus. Here is an example. I answered all 5 of those questions related to myself and my story. Here's what I would tell people to answer those questions. I've been a pastor's wife for over 40 years. I used to teach school a long, long time ago. I've been involved in a few network opportunities over the years. Plexus is the greatest networking company I have ever seen. When I joined Plexus, I strictly was looking for weight loss. I wasn't necessarily looking for a new business. But my daughter told me that she saw a post about Plexus from a former teacher friend of hers on Facebook who had lost a lot of weight. And she told me she'd invited the girl to come over to her house, and did I want to come over and hear what she had to say? We both needed to lose weight. So I wanted to hear about this little pink drink that helped people lose weight. I thought, you know, it doesn't matter what it tastes like. If I can drink it and it helps you lose weight, I will drink it. And I've lost 40 pounds, and my daughter has lost about 45 pounds. I have more energy. I sleep so much better. My hair and nails grow better. And when I started understanding the compensation plan, I decided I wanted to share this opportunity with my friends because they were asking me about my weight loss. I had no idea that 2 years ago this month that I would have the incredible business I have now with over 700 people on my team. I stay at home. I travel with my husband, and my work fits around my life. And that's why I love Plexus so much. Now, I just answered all 5 of those questions that she asked in the book. What are the results? When prospects hear you share your story with conviction, they will be moved to want to learn more and find out how it can change their life too. When you share with people, you need to always smile and exude energy and excitement. Don't use wimpy phrases like I hope or I wish. Use strong statements like, with this business, we are planning to. Now, for my husband, well, for myself and my husband, we are planning to try to be able to help support our children, our grandchildren, when they go to college. We have 11 grandchildren. We have one in college now. And because of Plexus, we are able to send her some money every month. And I think I've mentioned to you all before that there's some ladies in Africa that I've been supporting for the last 3 or 4 months because of Plexus. Both of those things would have been more challenging to do without Plexus. Power prospecting. There's different ways to approach people about your business. The first one Sarah talks about is the direct approach. This is for people that you're close to, that you're comfortable with, your friends, your relatives. You can always say, hey, Debbie, it's Sarah. I am so excited. I have something I want to share with you. Do you have a minute? And I've listed, do you have a minute or do you have a few minutes several times throughout this PowerPoint, because when you call someone on the phone, I think it's very important to say, do you have a minute? When I call an ambassador, I don't, I'm at home. I'm not really in the middle of anything, but they may be at work. They may be at home. They may have little kids. So I always qualify, do you have a minute to talk to me? Do you have a few minutes? And if they say, no, it's not a good time, well, then don't try to continue to talk to them. Set a time when you're going to call back. You say, I've been dying to tell you about my new business that's expanding in your area, and you're one of the very first people I thought about sharing this with. Sarah uses the phrase expanding in your area, and I love that because we are expanding everywhere. So anybody you may meet in the continental United States, we are expanding our business in their area, especially in Illinois. We are really expanding our business up there, and I love telling people that. And then you tell them your story. The second method is an indirect or a referral type of approach. This is for someone that you know from a professional level. If you've worked in an office, maybe somebody at your office, someone you really admire, or someone who's basically more of an acquaintance. Always ask, do you have a few minutes to talk? The difference in the wording is like this. Hi, Susie, it's Sarah. I'm calling you for a reason today. I wanted to first start by saying how much I admire you. I want to first start. In other words, pay them a genuine compliment. Comment on what it is that you admire about them. There is someone that I'm planning to call. I would rather my husband and I talk to this person face to face, but this is a businessman that we know that's very successful. And until I started doing some of these studies, he is not someone I would have mentioned Plexus to because he's successful. He's been successful all his life, and he lives in a beautiful house. And I don't know what kind of money he makes, but he's been successful. But the Lord has laid on my heart, I need to talk to this man about Plexus. So this would be he's a friend. He's an acquaintance. He's not a relative or a close friend. So I would tell him, I know that you've always, done well and I would name the business he's in. And I've always admired that in you. And that's how you'd kind of start that conversation out. State that you're looking to partner with them as you expand your business there and see if it might be a good fit for that person or anyone that you know in the area. I love the way she says partner with people too. So you kind of give them a little bit of an out. It might not be for you, but you might know somebody it is for. A lifestyle prospecting approach. When you're out in public and you don't know anybody out there, you're at a restaurant or a meeting, you strike up a conversation. Remember, our business is talking, and we studied in a previous chapter how you can strike up a conversation with a total stranger. But what she emphasizes here is make it all about the other person. Ask lots of questions. People love to talk about themselves. Rod and I have always found this to be true. We've come home sometimes from being in someone's home or at a party, and we'll talk about the person that talked the very, very most, mainly about themselves. And later we'll hear that that person told someone else, oh my gosh, I just enjoyed talking to them so much. And we laugh because we didn't do the talking, they did the talking. People do love to talk about themselves, and they love to answer your questions. And you can go into questions, which we talked about in a previous chapter. Where do you work? Where are you from? Like when you're traveling and, you know, you're not from that place. Where are you from? Another approach she uses is called the sample pack approach. And obviously we know about this. We have samples of our pink drink. Engage them in a conversation, compliment them, ask a lot of questions. This is great for waitresses. I've done this lots and lots of times. I love talking with you today and would love to give you a gift, which, or you can say sample of our main product, which is Slim. Tell them what the Slim does. I promise you'll love it. If you promise you'll try it, I promise I'll follow up with you and get their contact information. And I've mentioned to you all before, it really is easy to get their contact information. Once you've built a little rapport with them and they seem like a congenial person and they have some needs that you know Plexus would meet, I say, hey, let's keep in touch. Would you mind giving me your contact information? And I just hand them my phone. I have it opened up to a new contact, and by that point I know at least their first name, so I'll have their first name already in there while I'm kind of talking to them, and then I'll just hand them my phone, because most everybody younger than me does it faster than me, so they'll put their information in. Sometimes they put their email, sometimes they put their phone, but they'll put their last name, and it's an easy way to get somebody's contact information. Another thing she suggests is hand them a card and ask them to just write it down. So there's different ways you can do that. When you have their contact information and you've given them a sample, it's very important to follow up with them. You call them or contact them and say, well, how did you like that Plexus Slim? Did you like the taste? And then you share a little bit more about your business with excitement. Once you share with them, if there's going to be an event that they could go to, invite them to the event, or invite them to meet you somewhere and you tell them a little bit more about the opportunity. Invite them to do a face-to-face chat on your phone. You can even do a Zoom call. You can do a 3-way call with your upline, or like I said, go to a live event. A live event are the greatest and most powerful ones because there's a lot of people there. Everybody is excited and the energy level is high. And there's a lot of testimonials, more than just you telling them about all these people that you know and what happened to them. Power presenting is sharing your story. She says there's 5 P's for sharing your story. Partnership. Why did you join the company? Why would it be great for your prospect to join the company? The products. What were your results with the product? What is the potential for them? You know, we do sponsor people in Plexus and they buy products from us who do not need to lose weight. We usually think of the first person as the person who's overweight and they need Plexus because there are so many people that are overweight. But there are other people who are not overweight that may have other health problems that we are not necessarily aware of, and our Plexus products could help. The third one she calls is programs. Tell them what kind of support they will get from you, your upline, and the company. If you're not going to support that person, you should not sponsor that person. You need to assure them that you're going to be with them, you're going to walk them through it, you're going to help them every step of the way, and that your upline will do that and the company does that. Tell them about the pay plan, why network marketing works and how money is made. We've studied in previous chapters all about network marketing, and I think it would be worth your time to go back and look at those chapters. We don't necessarily start telling all the details of our compensation plan unless they specifically ask us. We share how the extra income and the incentives could benefit their life. Now, I had a man come over this week. What is this? Monday, last week, and install some drawers for me. And, I never talked to him about Plexus. And the Lord was saying to me, why aren't you telling this man about Plexus? I mean, he was a little bit overweight, not necessarily, but the Lord was really telling me that, and I just was not obeying. And the man had to go out to my garage and do something electrical out there, and he came back in, he said, do you sell some kind of weight loss thing? Because I saw the back of your car. Well, I said to him, how did you know that? And he said, I saw that decal on the back of your car. And I told Rod, I said, I think that's the first person that's ever specifically mentioned that they saw the decal on my car and asked me about Plexus. But anyway, he did, and he stayed. Oh my gosh, he wanted to know about it. And of course, I'm terribly excited about it, and how it's improved my health, how it's improved Heather's health, other people on our team, and Becky. I even got my phone out and showed him your picture. He wanted me to send him your picture on the phone so he could show it to his wife, and I did. I hope you don't mind. But he was very excited, and I ended up, and I already had a folder prepared to give to people like that. I was very glad I had done that. And I gave it to him, and I did actually go over with him in a lot of detail about the compensation plan. And you know what surprised me? He had been in network marketing before, and he got it. Well, whoever gets that 11 ways to make money in Plexus the very first time you tell them. I mean, I kept wanting to emphasize and repeat, and he said, I got it. He kept telling me he got it. It was interesting and fun. Another thing that we do, another P, is positioning and timing. We create urgency as to why the time is now for them to join. And you can say something like, you couldn't have picked a better time to hear about this. And because Plexus is in a great position to grow tremendously this year. I mean, that's really true. And it's still a ground floor opportunity, not as much as it was, but considering all the years to come, believe me, it's a ground floor opportunity. She adds a sixth P, which she says are the benefits to the prospect and why this is a great opportunity for them. And we need to help them dream how Plexus could change their life. The next steps, if they have a personal interest in hearing more about Plexus, you can say to them, I just kind of jump on in there and tell them if it's convenient, talk right then, I do. But if it's not convenient, you say, I'm going to send you an email, or you can send them a link, or you can get their address and send them brochures and a catalog, and say, when you've had time to look through this, write down all the questions you have, and I will call and answer them. And say, I have some time next Wednesday. What is the best time for us to get together on Wednesday? We can get together on the phone, or I can meet you somewhere. Invite them to a local event if it is available, but always set a time to follow up with them. If they do have a personal interest in the products, then you can suggest the right product for them. You can help them order it. You can help them order it right then, or you can schedule a time for the next day or very, very soon that you can help them order it. Most of the time, if my potential customers have any questions, they usually can go to the website themselves and order the product they need. I suggest to them what product they want to order, and they'll go and order that product on their own. I do have some older ladies that I've ordered for them. They give me their credit card and I order it for them. If they agree to provide you with referrals, now sometimes they might not have an interest in the business themselves, but they will give you referrals. So you get the names and numbers and you ask them, would you mind just briefly contacting that person to let them know that I'll be calling? Your friend can send them an email. You can write it out for them. And then she says you can give them a referral reward. You could offer, to give them a bottle of X Factor or whatever, like a week's supply of Slim. But you can give them that little referral reward for sending somebody else your way. And if they don't have any interest in the business at all, and I talked to somebody this week who's been a preferred customer of mine forever, I think, and she told me, I don't have any interest, especially not sales. Now, she didn't understand that we're not in sales, but I didn't want to mess with it at the moment. So you just let them go. Don't cry. Don't even get discouraged, because that no means you're one step closer to a yes. Thank them for their time. You can add them to a newsletter if you have one, or Facebook or Twitter or some other social media, so that they can watch what you're going to do over time. You can ask them for referrals, and if you replace every no with a referral, your contact list is never going to run dry. And then be sure to follow up with them from time to time. And I've told you all before that Becky Farmer, who's on the call tonight, told me no. When I first got in Plexus, she told me no, because I thought she would be so perfect for this. And I checked in with her every little bit, and she continued to tell me no until January of this year, and she said yes. And actually, I was like surprised, but thrilled. And Becky has done extremely well, and one of her goals is to be gold this summer while she's off from her regular job. The fortune is in the follow-up. And as I've been reading, studying, and preparing to teach you all this book, I have realized in months gone by how poor I have done on follow-up. In fact, I had a phone call from a lady who had to do with the man installing my new drawers. Her name was Kat. And I remembered all of a sudden, I gave her a Plexus sample and some information when she was at my house the first time. It wasn't for her. It was for her stepfather who has diabetes. And I asked her, oh, by the way, did you ever try that sample? Because I really didn't remember at that time. I hadn't written her name down. I hadn't written that I had given her that sample, and I had not followed up. But I have it now. And I'm going to be checking back with her and kind of bug her a little bit. When somebody starts being very negative with you, like, don't bug me anymore, then that's time you don't bug them anymore. But until then, I'm like the squeaky wheel that gets the grease. I called the doctor's office 3 times today until I got the answer to the question I wanted to know. I don't call once and let them wait to call me back. If they don't call me back in an hour, I call them back. This is a previous slide, but I wanted to share it with you all today because some of you haven't been in on the previous ones. Sharing 5 contacts a day keeps leads coming your way. That's a great thing to remember. Also, remember, if you keep your mind and your mouth open, then your business is open too. You never know when or where you're going to find your next rock star. The whole world is a lead for you. Now, take what you learned today and go out and rock your world. Next week, we're going to study Chapter 7, The Power Close, How to Handle Objections. I think a lot of people don't share with people because they're afraid somebody will ask them a question they don't know the answer to, or they will have an objection and they don't know how to handle it. So we're going to talk about those next week. I know that Heather has shared some of those with you. And when you are prepared ahead of time for that objection, you will feel so much more comfortable about how to handle that. In fact, the man who came to do my drawers this week, I told him I'm in network marketing, and he said, and I told him the name of it, and I can't remember, I said 1 or 2 more sentences, and he said, Is that a pyramid scheme? And I just laughed because that's what people think. When they hear the word network marketing, they think pyramid scam. And I laughed. And what I always say first to that is, well, no, that's illegal. It's not a pyramid scam. And I also said to him, a pyramid scam means all the people at the top are the ones who make the money, but it's all the people down here at the bottom who do the work. And that's what a pyramid scam is, and they are illegal. And that's not what Plexus is. So if you can possibly join us next week for Chapter 7, I think you would learn a lot. I'm going to stop our recording.